Hey, welcome to today's daily sprint where we're talking about increasing our purpose, passion, and meaning. And we are here at our war memorial. Check out that cool, awesome statue, like Gladiator. I think he was a war hero in maybe World War I or World War II, I believe. So anyway, today I want to talk to you about where you're living. Some of us are that we shouldn't be living. Where we're living that we shouldn't be living. So some of us are living in Guiltville, the past. Oh man, I talked to my wife, absolutely horrible. I'm just not gonna date anymore. What if I do it again? People that live in Guiltville, that was me, okay, they are paralyzed by their past. And what really helped me was admitting that, seeking therapy. I did Celebrate Recovery, which was absolutely awesome, great organization, and plugging in to people that helped me do this. I had to ask for forgiveness from those I hurt, and then it wasn't that simple. Then I had to forgive myself. That's how I was able to leave Guiltville. Guiltville was like a cardboard box, man. It was horrible. It was cold in the winters and super hot and energy draining in the summers. Very lonely place to live. So if you're living in Guiltville, there's probably some steps you got to take to either ask for forgiveness or to forgive, or both, like it was for myself. The second place that I graduated to, it was a little bit better. It was in the present, and I went to Shameville. Shameville wasn't a big step, wasn't a big upgrade from Guiltville. Shameville was kind of like the Motel 8. There were some shootings outside. And what Shameville was like is, because I still had shame from the past and this kind of like imposter syndrome, I really wouldn't shine my light out there. You know, I'd kind of qualify like, hey, maybe this person wants to see my light, so maybe I'd give them a little peek. Oh, nope, they didn't like it, I'm gonna take it back, because I was living in shame. I was living in this person that I thought people would perceive, or I would be perceived as just not a good person, frankly. So to get out of Shameville, we had to do the same thing. We had to plug in to a little bit different types of people. Personal development is what helped me leave Shameville. So personal development was finding people who've overcome the guilt and overcome the shame. And a lot of these people had things that I considered to be 10 times more shameful than I could ever think of, and they didn't have shame from it. So it's like, hey, how do you get away from this shame? How do you get out of this space? And they were able to help me raise my lid. So I'm telling you, whatever you're ashamed of or shaming yourself for, there's someone that did 10 times worse that got over it, and you can absolutely get over it too, through plugging into the right people, doing what got you out of Guiltville. Then we graduated up a little bit, and then we left in fear. Fear is your future. Fear will impact you from getting into your future. So guilt keeps you in your past, shame keeps you stagnant right where you're at, and then fear keeps you from going to where you're capable of going. So how to get out of fear? You have to just realize fear comes from the judgment of other people. You have to realize I'm not going to be a puppet being strung, pulled on by other people, and you have to continue to do that personal development, plug into the right people, and then soar. So now that you're out of fear, now you're living in possibility instead of necessity, and it's such a great place. It's like a high-rise condo with waves on the beach. If I were to choose what it would be like to live there. So, and here's the thing with fear, there's constantly different levels. You're going to start on the first floor when you conquer fear. Then you'll conquer a little bit. You'll get the second, third, fourth, and it never stops growing. Love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear honest and authentically. You can start with this. Let me know where you're living right now and what you're pulling out of. Maybe the U-Haul is backed up to where you're at right now. Maybe you're out living in guilt, but the U-Haul is there and you're starting to load it up. Maybe you're living in shame, paralyzed in the present, or maybe you're starting to live out of fear into the future. Let me know what floor you're at. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Have a great growth-driven rest of your week.